what I think about probably most is like when you called me, and I remember this because I went onto my back porch, just kind of took a minute out there to talk with you, and you were like, you know what, we need to do a movie, like we need to do something big, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know about that.
Watch me jumpstart as the old skinners wheel. See an opening and bust into the field. Hidden longings no longer concealed. Watch me bulldoze every bulldozer away. Each new obstacle from each old new day. Where it's going, it's hard for me to say. And shoot me down and bring me down, but I won't be around as you run for the places you love. I'll remember the faces that cry, and they're pulling me back, so I have to die.
Have fun. It's fun.
Do you want me to? Oh, I was gonna say. I'm gonna grab this either way though. Like okay. All right, I'm gonna grab this either way. We're gonna hightail it down the stairs. Try not to bust our asses. We're off to a good start so far.
That was my friend that I was talking with on the phone, Andrew Boccarossa, the 22-year-old from Reading, Connecticut. We of course had a common bond in motocross, but we also shared a unique love for any and all motocross videos, no matter how obscure. Armed with his pro card, a practice bike, a race bike, and a couple gallons of Pedialyte, Andrew asked me to join him for what would be his first attempt at the national circuit. I happily obliged. After driving out by himself from his place in Connecticut to my place in Indiana, we packed our bags and began the journey. Hey, tell him how the mileage was on that thing.
So you started out at 10, we're at 7 now.
How many miles is that?
From my house to here?
Yeah.
I won't show it if the truck is off. I think it was like right around 800. I filled up about 4 times at $65 a pop. So I wouldn't be surprised if I just ditch the truck and start hitchhiking home at that rate.
Thus begun.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing, dude.
Test my skill.
We got everything all ready to go, and we headed to Ironman. I know we picked up Donut later on in the series, but you know, I'm a pretty good mechanic too, right?
I'll tell you one thing. I was certain that your skills were much more than I thought. I'd never seen a look on anybody's face when I told them to take off a wheel before, and you looked at me like I had 3 eyeballs. It definitely gave us some good laughs, that's for sure.
Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, you wanna grab a wheel?
Yeah.
Just tell me when you're gonna film, or you're just filming right now?
That's when you'll know.
Yeah, when the thing is fucking 2 foot from my face. Could we do a 33 on the rear, and then could you do a 3S on the front?
Yep.
Okay. It's a BOCCA. ROSSA.
It'll be about 30, 40 minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, obviously you guys who are watching this totally get that I'm not going to qualify. But that doesn't mean we're going to have any less fun. In all honesty, I'm just here to have a good time. If I qualify, cool. If not, that's okay too. I had a good adventure. I'd never been out here before, so that's where it all matters.
I think the craziest thing with showing up at like a track like Ironman is The hills are way steeper. The jumps are way, way bigger than you would ever think. The dirt's different. Honestly, I was terrified to ride the place.
That thing's fucking dangerous looking. Holy shit. What do you think that is? 90, 100 feet? Easy 100?
I walked around it and was not too thrilled. And then come Saturday morning, it was a mud fest.
Weatherman says rain today. Wrap up well before you go out to play. Look both ways before you cross the street. Go to the shop.
You know, I did what I could. I tried my best, and you know, we didn't walk away successful, but definitely learned a lot. And you know, that's really what this year has come down to, is just learning a lot.
We decided to clear our heads with a day in the Windy City. A little metropolitan flavor before our final jaunt through Indiana and Michigan. Despite the trip's lackluster start at Ironman, I knew I had to take Andrew to some of my local spots in Indiana and Michigan. There were some great places we could get some good footage at, and it was a shame that we started at such a shitty round in Ironman, but it is what it is, and I knew we were about to get some real riding in.
Being in Indiana is just, it's so laid back compared to the Northeast, but I mean, the riding, unreal.
Still a bunch of jerk off. Up your mother than a Murdoch. You could suck tits like Schillinger's kid in isolation, provoke panic. I'm fucking to ask my thing for 7-hour tantric. Set the phone in a fanzine for the man boy love circuit. Society is staying plain, murderers are worthless. You know you heard it.
Wait, so you can download this on the computer though?
Fuck the consequence, chop the head, gangster apocalypse. Walk in the back to right withdrawals on deposit slip. Female cop ran up on me, so I shot the
From the brain of John Malkovich, insane from the stain frame. The 12 monkeys caught in a corrupted cop blend. The serenity hits the shits. Dick in the lips of Rocky Hard bricks. Face scar tissue, standard issue.
I hit you when you're retired generations. I'm friends with God, and I'm friends with Satan. It all depends upon my situation. I'm flipping the change to keep my business equipment lazy. Stranger the major labels, ill bill, fuck the television, this is King.
Like an abusive home with sitcom, laugh, trash, grafted from television's golden era. A demolition pirate, drive a clay automobile and spit metal bombs. Play jacks with that Barbie, I'm on a battle cat bombing, baby.
I'm that crazy, used to be a really nice guy at one time. Now I pull out nines at one time and love crime, the drugs fine, they bring it to my rhyme. My rhymes fine, they bring it to my drugs, I'm in love with hate, it's great. The hooker had me hooked just after one date.
It's great. Atomic miscreant, shit more than just dissonant stimulant. You caught in a small space, dusted with a psychopath simian. Justice is a garden tool in the hands of the militant primitive villagers with no food. The weaponry is cruel.
Rock from behind bars, I'd be like Biggie Smalls and die
Or
long.
Patty Hearst cleaning guns in the back of a stolen car with the hands of a bleeding bureaucrat banned from Ishtar.
I like good girls, but trifling bitches get my dick hard.
Hard, 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 hard. Everybody's in love with our simian drugs. Simian drugs. Simian drugs. Everybody's in love with our simian drugs.
Welcome to Planet Rap, with CEOs deflect bullets with laptops and sell crack rock. We be licensed to ill like ass rock.
Stanley and Mortimer trading places with a faceless mascot and a monkey suit with bloody exaggeration on LIR reached their last stop.
Last cops, beat by my blueprints, I'ma do shit at the shoe fits. You take a whole precinct with you too, kid. Mascot of mayhem, direct from brainstem on tilt, with hands across the genocidal American quilt. I walk around like it's game over. Keep out the replay, the opposite opponent got his brain exploded. Midget whores on stilts, tall tales from little fucks, get your trust and flip face like large margin of Mack truck. Back new up. Paranoia, look over contracts on behalf of lawyers, laughing towards the blast of asteroids. Go ask your daughter. Illicus, Spillicus, plus bun crush, does killing this willingly. Similar villages filling this blank space with syllabus. Century certified murder hurts. Best when flesh left on corduroys, lay with my words in the dirty earth. Feeling it? If not, you better have your fucking head examined. The type of shit I'm on, you cats have only read about it carved in granite. Pull up your skirt and cause your heart to vanish. I start the madness, pull out and bust my art upon the canvas. Yo, loosely, you spooky too, shoot community. Be a CIA spook without truth and immunity. Perhaps doom will be the proof in the streets. Soon as see looters on the loose, they got guns and impunity.
What was it like seeing Redbud for the first time?
It was pretty surreal. Like you watch, the great outdoors, all these old videos and stuff, and you see Redbud, you think of it as like this crazy place as a little kid, and you try and picture it of like the way it works in your mind, and then you get there, and it's even grander than you thought it would be. Luraco's Leap. I was shit talking the whole way there about how I was gonna hit it on a 250, and I got there and said, yeah, no, fuck that. I'm not hitting that jump. That jump's way too big. It's just probably one of the sickest facilities I've ever been to. Definitely cool as shit to see that place in person, that's for sure.
My friend Brett Powers was in town from Texas, so we loaded up my dad's 350 for him in the trailer.
You're from the guy who qualified 73rd yesterday.
Yeah, I had to. It's the same gate I had too. Which means I'm gonna get a shitty start too. Probably. Flip it back down. Stop the fucking gate.
Donut was holding his own in the 25 plus class, but he was dying for a whole shot, so we snuck him into the open D motor before the day was up. I won't say much else, but I'm pretty sure he kept the trophy.
That just wasn't cool. Dude, I thought it'd be a little more competitive.
It's either gonna be really hilariously funny or just sad. So we're gonna see what happens out there.
$250A, more like 250 gay. Those guys were way too slow out there. Unbelievable. It was an easy dub, easier than yesterday's dub.
We ended the day at Jordan Roberts' mini ramp in Niles, skating with Emery, Travis, Jordan, and the rest. A peaceful moment in an otherwise fast-paced trip.
I landed one while y'all both weren't looking.
All right, well, let's see it, dude. Get aboard.
All right.
Throw it down.
Oh, shit. Come on, dude. I'm a better skater than this guy. I don't skateboard.
Honestly, we really needed an extra hand on this trip, and Donut was the one to step up and take that place. He took everything pretty seriously, from the backyard grills to his role as Andrew's third mechanic on the trip.
All the other riders, Marvin Muskin, they've been asking, "We need you, Don." No thanks. I'm built different.
Alright, so maybe all Don could do was set sag, but even that was still an upgrade compared to me.
Give it to the berry!
Andrew enjoyed the acclimate weather of Michigan compared to Indiana, but regardless, he was still learning the ropes of the fast-paced national circuit. We ended up packing it in again, but not before Andrew reintroduced me to his friend, Joe Tait. The former college boy champ and all-around madman, Joe came out with his dad after they got off work to contest the doubleheader.
You got the stock lever on here, dude. Dude, I'm saving pennies, all right? It's in the piggy bank is loaded. All right. This is the 962's pit right here. As you can tell, it's a little messy. All we got's the van. And this is the privateer life here. We got the fan, a little luxury with the mist. Doesn't have any water in it, but it does work. We had to put this thing on the back to haul a little extra stuff. Got our race gas in here, a little simple green, a bucket to wash some filters. Then the old water jug went on top. That was our setup for the ride down. All just to smoke the 345. That's why we're here. We didn't come to race anyone other than that guy.
I'm only racing one other guy on the front.
We're going head to head.
So where'd you drive from, Joe?
We came from Connecticut. Yeah, it was about 12 hours to get here.
And during the week, on a usual week, you work HVAC, right?
Yeah, I do heating and air conditioning with my dad. It's just me and him, so yeah, it's tough weeks, you know. Some days we don't get out of work till, 6, 7 o'clock, so it's kind of just, you got to stick to the program, and the days that you got off, that you get easy, you got to take advantage of and just try to get your riding and your training in, because, some days it's out of the equation, you can't even do it. So obviously I have to go to work during the week to be able to come here on the weekend and stuff, so, we sacrifice a lot to be out here racing these guys and just trying to put ourselves on the map, and represent New England a little bit. So that's really what we're all here to do. We're not here to, do anything crazy, just have fun and try to get in that show with those dudes.
It's always talked about how much of a grind like privateer life can be, but in hanging out with you guys, it seems like it's just more fun. Like there's more energy here than in some of the other pits.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us have known each other for a while now, and we're good buddies from back home. So it definitely keeps the vibe alive, being able to come here and just keep, smiling and having a good time and not letting the pressure get to you, because, I mean, this is a big race. This is, we work all year for this. We spend a lot of money to be here. Nobody out here is somebody you could sleep on. Everybody here is going to be fast, so you just got to kind of show up tomorrow and just be determined to qualify. You can't just, expect to be one of the top guys right off the bat. You definitely got to put the work in the morning.
What are you going to do there? Start practice, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Shit, yeah. Keep going. Just keep going around. Good, man. Good luck out there.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, he knew. I told him, I said, you better drop the hammer, because it's not going to get any better out there.
I stood upon the twisting pond, the light upon the skyline, thinking with the joy I've been, and hope for another. Cool she breathes, night she flies, sunshine and in shadow. And the day will come again, my friend, to bathe me in rainbow.
In?
In. 23.
23rd?
Nice,
Damn.
We're going to be on the happy end of it, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's not the happy end. 15th in the B group, that's not the, you know what I mean? Just to get in is a accomplishment in my book. If you get in, you're doing all right. I might have to bail out of there in the middle or something.
Yeah. Go watch.
Go watch a few laps.
Go ahead. Okay.
We'll talk about it over there.
Well, stay in there for the first half, and then after halfway, you can go.
All right.
But like, you know.
Let's make sure this starts before I walk away.
I haven't known Joe for a long time, but we've ridden quite a bit together, so it's humbling to see him out there, if that's even the right word to describe that, but it's really, really cool, and like, it's, you know, it's the feeling like you're so proud to see like one of your buddies out there. You're like, holy shit, like, you know, I didn't make it, but that doesn't mean I can't support my boy out here. And the feeling of seeing somebody that you ride with, you know, 3-4 times a week sometimes, out at the top level, you know, battling it out with the top guys is it's a pretty cool feeling, that's for sure.
As it turned out, Joe's spokes had escaped from the back wheel during the second half of the moto. Nursing the bike home, he dropped to a 31st place finish. With the help of his father Ross, he rejoined the gate for the second moto, posting a 30th place finish, good enough for 30th overall for the day. I like guys like Joe. They put on for their scene, they represent. They define what it means to be a rider each and every time they infiltrate that 40-man gate. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you never will. While Ross and Joe headed back east for work, Andrew and I continued westward, 1,000 miles staring us through the windshield. Andrew told me about family he had near Lakewood, just outside of Denver, home to the next round of the National Series. What I wanted to know is, when was the last time you saw your aunt and uncle before this trip?
The last time I saw Ann and Dave was, I think, October of 2017. And before that, I think Dave moved out there in 98 and he met Ann in 04. And they've been out there ever since. But, they were more than welcoming to, they barely knew me, and they said, hey, come on down. We got places to stay, we'll set you up. And that was really, really cool, actually. And it was, I'm glad we got to spend some time with them, because they got a cool gig going on out there, and I would definitely, enjoy a chance to go back.
I could feel far off the glow.
It was really awesome to see the support that they gave you. I knew going in that you hadn't seen them in a while, or weren't too familiar with them, and to see them come out to the race and help you out on that journey was really cool to see.
I mean, even Dave took off work, and I even asked Anna, does Dave take off work really? And she goes, no, he hasn't taken off work in a long time. It definitely made me feel good to know that if I came back to the truck, they still were supporting, no matter if I got first or dead last. It was fun just to have their kids out there, and they don't really know anything about motorcycles, and the fact that I don't know if it's really like a common bond, or I don't know. I think it's just the family mentality, maybe just being there for one another. I thought it was really cool. That was the most laid back I've ever been to Racing National.
Despite his best efforts and the newfound support of his Colorado family, Andrew couldn't find the magic he needed to make the motos. I was there for each defeat, and though the spirit of the trip was held in the name of exploration and fun, I felt for Andrew each time I watched him study the ground, searching for resolutions and questions I couldn't answer. We were packing up again, but we decided to stick around and watch some of the races. I caught you intently watching the lines of the pros, and I knew it must have been tough to watch another race on the sidelines. Did you ever start to worry that you might never make the final gate?
I think watching the races definitely is a bummer. But yeah, it does light a fire in me, because I know at some point, if I just put the work in, that I'll be out there.
A friend once said to me, motocross is a microcosm of life. If it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be like life. I knew Andrew was frustrated, and I felt that pain alongside him. But I think we both found beauty in the microcosm. We came to Colorado to race, and in his place we found love, humanity, and family. Microcosms in their own right. After all, a microcosm is a vision of the universe, where the part reflects the whole, and vice versa. It's a recursive pattern. If motocross is like life, then life is like motocross, and we're all here for the ride. So let's ride.
Our bodies glide. There was water in my eyes. We sank and we arrived, and found ourselves inside the light.
After thanking Ann and Dave for their hospitality and saying our goodbyes to Andrew's little cousins, we made a pit stop in Denver before the Coastal Dash. Though our season ended there, we decided to pay some friends a visit. Next stop, California.
The other day, some nigga hit me up, said, yo, what you got left? Cause it heard my shit, he tried to put me to the test. I laid like 150 more styles on him. I was flipping mad taste, spitting shit out like phlegm. He couldn't even understand the progress. I was smoking on the craze while he lit up the stress. No more will that shit touch my chest. Always got the orange hairs when it's time to bless, I guess. That's why I'm always on a higher plane to gain past the wealth and fame. My niggas always pushing on mental rides. A straight manifest, I be catching the vibe. My niggas always pushing on mental rides. A straight manifest, I be catching the vibe. My niggas always pushing on mental rides. A straight manifest, I be catching the vibe. A straight manifest, I be catching the vibe. Manifest, I be catching the vibe.
Import track's good. Firing 6 lefts. Gonna get pitted.
Hey yo, I keep it butter while your artificial flavor. Even though I'm independent and your label is a major. The watered down status sound like you Johnny Mathis. Only one album and already your path is the wrong one. While I be on the strong one. You be here for a long one, I hit the wrong one. Time hit your vibe while you can't cuss. You keep it phony like Kevin Mahoney. Strikes champs, I be strictly trying to blow out your amp on the buzz ride. The ill loop nigga.
There he is! Greatest supercross rider of all time! Jeremy Showtime McGrath! Just burning laps out here, Glenn Helen! Yeah! Alright!
Niggas always pushing on me to rise. Straight manifest, I be catching the vibe.
Fucking safe. Fuck it. That's sick.
Yeah! See that corner? Dude, you finally finished that sponsor meeting.
Are you hydrated now?
That's sick. The coronavirus handshake. Have you noticed? Everyone does that.
While our time out west was memorable, Andrew and I, we both looked at each other and it was obvious that we had to get out of California and finish what we started out east. After a 3-day sprint across the country, we landed in New York, a place I'd never been. There's an inexplicable buzz in the air, the hum of the worker bees in the city that never sleeps, a living tribute to the spirit of America. Built by immigrants in search of a better life, a workforce comprised of the world's dreamers. Even if the streets had less cars than normal, the sidewalks less people, the work continued on. There's places all over this earth where people work hard and work for an honest pay, but there's something about a city like that East Coast grit, it's just unmatched. I caught the bug and went to work myself, chopping down trees with an arborist by the name of Seth Nicolo, one of Andrew's friends who also happens to be a professional rider.
I mean, dudes that ride, they all work, you know, but like to be in that upper echelon of working and also trying to compete at the national level, I think for most areas that's kind of rare, but here it seems like that's almost the norm.
it's hard to make both work, but out here you don't really have a choice, you know? So I can think of like Joe Tait. Joe Tait works in HVAC and stuff. Kyle Murdoch does carpentry. You know, Josh Pryor works for his dad at American Ladders. He's actually from right around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he lives like 10 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else works. Andrew obviously does all of his stuff. But yeah, those are a lot of the dudes that I ride week in, week out with that go to work on Monday just like I do, you know. It definitely helps clear my mind and get me stoked to go riding because, you know, we do have some downtime on the job. Like while he's cutting, I can't go underneath him. Makes me want to ride more, you know, being at work all day. Like, oh, I can't wait to go ride after.
Seth invited me to spend the day with he and his girlfriend Rachel at Southwick, the last race of the year for the local NESC series. I graciously accepted. You filled me in on a little bit of the history of Southwick and the fact that you guys actually lost the track for a little while. Were you guys at all worried that you might lose Southwick forever?
Once we got word back in 13 that there was no more national, I think we all thought the worst. We thought we were going to lose what New England was famous for until, Keith Johnson stepped in and resurrected the place. I mean, there was a time where they were going to sell the property off and, build condos there, and it would have been no more. That would have been it. You know, I think it takes people with vision to see something so worn down and dilapidated and go, hey, you know what? I know this place has history, and I know, with the right people backing it, that we can make it something great again, and they certainly did.
How do you like it being mic'd up?
I like it. You can't cuss me out on this.
Of course not.
You have to be nice.
So this is like the regular crew, pretty much?
Yeah, I think there's only like maybe 2 or 3 more people that come with us, but that's really it. Nobody's been riding the tracks this year though, so it's not a big group anymore.
Good luck out there.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
These professional graphics.
Yeah.
You're gonna do really good.
I think it's almost go time here.
You want me to start walking?
Yeah, my dad will.
Races that I went to. I think it was the second race. The first one was Central, in 2018. And Central isn't like really a big track, so like seeing this was like terrifying. And he was really fast because he'd been racing like the whole series, so he was just flying. It was a lot of fun, and like staying overnight's a lot of fun, and like meeting all the people. It's like a little community, so it's really nice. Once you know everybody, you can come and just talk to everybody.
You get to that point where you don't even plan on meeting somebody, you just show up and
exactly. I know, and like you never know who's gonna be here, because like Seth's had people that he rode with when he was like 8, and they just show up for like one race, and I was like, oh, who's that? And then he always has a story about like when they rode together. It's cool hearing it. You want me to move those blocks?
had been over a month since I last slept in my own bed, it was impossible not to feel at home with the Southwick crew. And while the racing season was officially over, Andrew had one last thing to show me. A small corner of Connecticut he tends to whenever the time allows. A place called Newtown.
There used to be a lot more spots to ride over Newtown. Like if we go down this road over here, we get to the light. There used to be a big sand pit right where the new shopping center is now. This is a spot I've been coming to for probably five years now, something like that. But it's been around forever. My dad used to ride here when he was a kid.
Is there some sort of like nostalgic, warm feeling about coming back to a place like this?
It's that feeling, and you don't really get it unless you leave and come back. There's nothing like home. Whether you get tired of doing your daily BS and this and that, and then you leave for a little bit, you come back, and you're like, man, like freaking something about this bumpy sand track is just a lot of fun.
You know, this reminds me of going to my local park.
I'm listening.
And like picking up the trash.
Well, I think you just learn to appreciate it a little bit more when you come back here. And I don't know, people come here and they don't like it and this and that. And I really think what it is that the people I've brought back here, every time I bring somebody, we get in trouble. So they associate this place with trouble. Do you know how many times I've almost been arrested riding places? I had one guy come out here and, oh, I'm gonna call the police. What's your name, dude? Oh, so-and-so, you guys are fucking this and that. And I go, really? Call the police. Because, we're not back here, drinking and lighting shit on fire and stuff. Come here, I ride and I leave, It's a shame that it has to resort to that way. That's just how it is. That's a normal, if a cop came back here and said, if you come back here, you're getting arrested, I'm like, all right. I'll still come back. It's just the way it is, dude. You just learn how to deal with it. Every rider in New England will tell you that. They're used to running from somebody. Whether it's a pissed off property owner or the fucking DEP or the police.
Yeah.
Of all the things we could have talked about on this trip, we couldn't help but circle back on the one thing that brought us together in the first place. Reminiscing about all those videos we used to watch when we were kids.
There's certain videos that I own, like Ultimate X and Gramageddon. I don't know anybody else who owns this stuff, but you do. What do these pieces mean to you?
It's like an alternate world. It's like a video game, you know. Like you watch that to, you know, maybe escape some shit that you got going on. You watch that and you go, oh man, like the nostalgia this video brings me is ridiculous, dude. I can picture myself as a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid watching these videos, and it just brings me to this point of like feeling this balance, you know. It's just like just a homey feeling, and I love that. And I cherish my movies, dude. I really do.